I am building myself a firm emotional base of which to step forward on, and I have the strength to do it. Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, this is a general reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, whatever. As a general reading rules apply as in timing's not absolute. I mean, it's tarot. Timing isn't absolute, not by a long chalk. Roles within the reading can be reversed. I could say that somebody's doing something and it's actually you doing it, or vice versa. What I would like you to do is to come to my reading with a question. So take a moment, think about all the questions that are around you at the moment, and pick one of them, focus on it. Focus, because energy in, energy out. But be aware of all of them, because the cards will answer what they want to and not what you and I think are the most important questions. But the other thing is that this reading has a past and a present. If the past and the present do not fit, it is not your reading. It is not for you. It's for another Scorpio. Have a look at your rising or your moon or your one of the other planets, or another reader. There's some really, really good readers on YouTube. My recommendations are definitely Divinely Feminine and The Woke Therapist and Queen Cup. There's others, but their names escape me right now. So let me switch cameras and I'll bring the cards up. So the energy that you appear to be in at the moment is the King of Cups, and how you're feeling about this is quite stressed. So there's some form of emotional resolution coming for you. You've had clarity recently on an issue that you were held back on acting upon. And this has caused you no end of stress and anxiety. So we've got the Nine of Swords as a time that you are leaving, and the Eight of Swords as in how you are feeling. But I want to say with this particular Eight of Swords, you are growing through this process. And that is why you are entering into the King of Cups energy at the moment of that emotional resolution. Okay, I feel all sorts of things about this clarity, about whatever it is that I've been told, but I am building myself a firm emotional base of which to step forward on, and I have the strength to do it. So this Eight of Swords has a serpent that coils around the Eight Swords rising up, and to me that is indicative of the serpent of wisdom, or the Kundalini, the serpent force within. So although you won't find many readers saying, oh yes, stress is good, this stress, this anxiety, this working through things has been good, but you have a choice to make on whether you are going to move forward or not. And I think you have chosen to move forward, which is why you're building that firm foundation at the moment. Let's look what else is going on with this. So you are deciding to nurture something, you are deciding to care about something and affirm it in the real world, even though what you are trying to affirm can be quite elusive at times, but you are going to get recognition of the effort that you have put in while you've been feeling all of this pain, because this pain has offered you a new beginning, but it also offered you the chance of a trap, which I think you're well aware of because you've made that decision to move forward already. Let's have a look at, okay, this one wants to come out. I didn't think it was that one, but yes, because you're wanting to do what is right. You are wanting to, you can either sit in the pain or you can move forward and integrate whatever it is that you've learned. So let's see what it was. So the news heralded a whole new beginning, but you were, right, Four of Swords. And notice in the Oracle decks, the ones that flip over, we started with isolation. Well, actually, we started with a win-win outcome is forecast. So, positive news, and about time positive news, because this has been hard work by the looks of it. That clarity that came to you offered a whole new beginning, even though at first you was like, okay, what way do I go now? I'm not sure where I'm heading now. But the truth of the matter is you weren't actually heading anywhere at that precise moment in time. You were held back because you knew moving forward at that point would have been a mistake. And you had to just sit and digest and carry on your day-to-day business while you worked through whatever it was that this clarity brought to you. So that you discovered the worth in that process because you were held back, because you were forced to react yet. I can't move yet. I can't do it yet. So you were forced to sit and integrate and learn all about it. And you started to see the results of that. And also, I think there's an element of you started to see you're not the only one that got this clarity. Therefore, this news has started to spread and affect others around you in whatever sphere this is, whether this is family, work, relationship, whatever. But a new beginning had been offered to you there and then, and I think you felt, no, you know what? I'm just going to stay here behind the curtain for a while because I'm still not feeling okay with this yet. But now you are starting to feel okay and you are starting to build. And it's still going to be a balancing act for a while, but you have made that choice to move forward, and you've made that choice to move forward on your own. Not that you're necessarily moving forward on your own, but you could well be. But you have made the decision on your own to move forward, is grammatically how I'm trying to say it. Because that's come from your own inner strength and sends you into a time of 2 of cups. So you're managing, and a 10 of swords. Okay, this clarity that brought so much pain and torment with it that you're still struggling with, even though you've made the decision to build that film base, it is coming to an end. It is coming to an end, 10 of swords, as there is a unity of forces being brought around, a resolution, or obviously could be new lover, new partner, or an enhancement of a current relationship. So this could also signify that if it's a relationship reading, I hope not. But if it, in fact, with all this that's been going on, I definitely hope not. But if it has been a relationship reading, then it could well be that relationship, well, you've either left it with the 9 of Pentacles here, or you've decided to move forward on your own power, and the relationship is improving because you've learned that moving forward, you can move forward slowly and gently and listen to the wisdom that is around you. So I'm not necessarily feeling intuition here, but I am seeing this guy listening to the bird song of the 3 birds in the tree above. So he's being very, very aware of the world around him and everything that's going on within it. And focusing on the details as well. Because this 5 of cups here, it's like you say, right, enough. I've got my cup. I'm moving on now. I'm moving on in this new direction. And there's a lot of sorrow and pain and what have you, just going, yep, no more. I'm through with that. Having said that, there's 5 of wands, 9 of swords. So the work's not over yet. Your choice that you make in moving forward, you will still be called to defend it, and you may be called to defend it in the face of someone that you consider an authority. But with this 9 of swords, you are, here's the moon, here's the intuition, here's the, you're going to lose things through this action. You knew that going in. That's probably why you've been stressing for so long about it. But everything will be contained, and there is more wisdom coming in, there is more information coming in, there is a rebirth. Remember, for me, 9s are often rebirth. Although I didn't get the 9 rebirth from this 9 of swords, I am doing from this one, from the magic circle of the candles, and that all the swords are contained. There is an element of upset of, I wish I didn't I wish I haven't had to have done that or didn't have to do that. But you come out of it making plans with a new commitment and ready to face any challenge. So this challenge, whoever it is that is challenging you and your decision to move forward, you win. Maybe you win by walking away, but you win. You know, this whoever it is that is trying to impose the rules on you, you go, nope, not happening. You can't do it. Now, it may be that you lose the influence of this person by rebelling against them in that way, but hey ho, spilt milk. So, because like I say, win-win outcome forecast. So maybe the other thing with this Five of Wands, maybe whoever is trying to impose that rule or law or that restriction upon you, they don't know all the facts. Because like I say, you win. And you will get Three of Pentacles again. You get recognised as everything comes tumbling down around your ears. Now, this is a potential future. Now, when I say everything comes tumbling down around your ears, you're fine. You've got the Nine of Pentacles here again. You are absolutely fine. The crumbling is affecting other people, but you've already get my teeth in. You've already taken steps to not be there when all the crumbling happens. You said, yeah, I'm moving on from there. And you've brought into balance, because there's that Two of Wands somewhere, and there's a Two of Pentacles somewhere. I'm sure I've seen one. Two of Wands there. You've brought into balance, Angel of Balance, your loyalties to those people and your loyalties to yourself. Your loyalties to what was and your loyalties to what the reality is and how you're going to move forward. And Three of Wands, people are seeing... Right, people are seeing that the ships are coming in from these steps that you have taken. And yes, it means that you've abandoned a previous dream. You've almost put a previous dream up for sacrifice. But hey ho, you know, because where you're heading is does feel really, really good. Ten of Swords for the final outcome with the Two of Cups. So an end to torment, even though it will come from a lot of angles to start off with. Six of Wands, victory. Two of Cups, happiness, and that synthesis of bringing, especially with this particular, this particular Two of Cups card is a couple bringing their alchemical solutions together to create this beautiful energetic DNA chain yin yang thing. And bear in mind, this is the steampunk tarot, so it's quite a hippie image for the steampunk tarot. You are going to be working with some other force to create something far greater, create something far new, create something that has that spark of magic around it. But you're worried that that you will be judged for this, that your rebirth will falter, that you will be penalized for it, that you're constantly trying to play a juggling act, play like the little Dutch boy with his finger and then his arm in the bank to hold back the water. That you're constantly put into that maintenance selection and just face fight and criticism for it. So from what these cards are saying, the right thing to do is to move forward, because prior to that clarity, you knew that you needed the strength which you're using at the moment, that strength would be needed as you made plans to sort of move forward initially. And I feel like you wanted to help and were helped by somebody else, and then you found out the truth, whatever this clarity was. So you were in both roles of helping and helpee. But interesting that the god that comes into play here is good health. So you've taken steps to get rid of all the stress. Nine of Swords here, Eight of Swords here, because that's what I'm seeing with Hygeia. But also with her card, the fact that taking care of your health leads you, opens you to a new pathway forward. Because on the bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Page of Swords, the Queen of Cups. So the Page of Swords shows the information, that clarity coming. The Queen of Cups is quite a pensive one there. She's considering whether this dream is worth it or not. Wheel of Fortune speaks for itself, good luck or bad. See what other gods are at play. So, I said about setting off under your own steam, under your own power, comfortable with yourself. Bast, independence. But there has been a temptation to stick in that angsty energy. There was a choice where something needed to be done and you could do something about it or you could suffer. But you are experiencing a rebirth, Hemera. This is a healing time for you, and what you are doing has been for the right reasons. Prometheus with altruism. Also bear in mind that Prometheus stole fire. You are fueling the next stage of your life by the actions that you take right now. And the astrology will back that one up as well. Is there anything else on the... Let's just have a look at the... Right, you faced a challenge before where you had to lay the law down and you just found yourself leaving the situation, which was something that... Remember that last time you left a situation by being forced out by laying the law down, yeah, the world was a bit chaotic for a while, but you knew that you were being true to yourself and true to your own power. So it's worked before, it will work now. So that you've got to remember when it worked before. So this part of the spread is always a relevant past, a lesson that you have learnt that you are using at the moment for good or for ill. Now, I feel that that's a good one. You're doing the right thing. Why have you been stressing about it? Why have you let it take so long on the back of that one? Because you've done this before. And I know why, because people have commitments, people have attachments. There's... I'm not calling you for it, but I will say now is the time to act. If you're going to act, now is the time to do it. Otherwise, you just remain in this stress, remain in this angst. So the guardian angel of service. I offer the best of my talents and goodwill, making my place in the universe a better one. Notice it's the making my place. You have to make your place good before you can make anybody else's place good, which is why you've got to put this stress aside. It is time for you to be blossoming, using your wisdom, flying free, dwelling in truth, being aware of all the things that are around you. I really don't need to explain any of these, do I? An affirmation. I'll get to the affirmation in a minute. I'll put that to the bottom of the deck. So, carrying on with my just whizzing through the cards. New beginnings. Healing. Play. Have fun. Celebrate. Don't be so serious, i.e. put that stress down. Step away from the stress. Trusting heaven. Again, this when is it time to move? I think you've already started moving, and all I am telling you is, yes, you've done the right thing. But if you haven't started moving, start moving. Of course, don't let a tarot reader like me make decisions for you, but conversely, start moving. Archangel Michael, trusting heaven. You are safe, angels stand close, surrender your concerns, put down the stress, and allow a miracle to occur, because you are coming into a really, really good time. This current situation, you've got to build yourself up strong now so that when this tower comes down for other people that are around you, you're there to help pick up the pieces, not been knocked out by a piece of falling rubble. Melchizedek, higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. Again, like listening to those subtle cues, listening to the bird song. But you've done the external work. You need to start working on the internal, and you've done half of that internal work already. It's time for you to graduate up to the next level. Embrace the energy of peace. Put the stress down. New beginnings. Soul retrieval. So there's been trauma go on here. I mean, pretty obvious there has been the amount of stress you've been under. There's been some form of trauma, or it's reawakened some form of trauma. Maybe this clarity was bringing news of something from the past and has reawakened some trauma within you that you go, oh, no, hell. I know it was 30 years ago, but I really need to sort this. Lunasa, prosperity. So with Lunasa, I'm thinking, when is that? That's, is it autumn time? I've suddenly forgotten. But prosperity, there is good moves in walking towards it. So maybe the Lunasa, look up when the Lunasa, or Lugnasad, if you're not familiar with how it's pronounced, because that's how it's spelt, but Pagan Festival of the Wheel. But I'll finish with this affirmation, just in case you are still in this stressy time and you haven't put the stressy time down yet. In times of darkness, I go within, like the Melchizedek card said, my inner light is always on. You already know how to move forward with this, so move forward with it. All right? Cheers.